UCLA Bruins. Jaylen Hands last night hit 3 threes at the end of the half. It was 35-33. And Jaylen Hands went boom, three, boom, three. And then the final one was the most impressive, 41-34. He backs up, fading away, right before the end of the half, bam, 10-point lead. I just think UCLA was able to keep that momentum for pretty much the remainder of the second half. You know, they were playing down low well with Thomas Welsh, and Golomon was hitting shots in the second half, big shots. And you got Aaron Holiday, who was carving him up, driving to the rim. They were able to stop Alonzo Trier and Cartwright and DeAndre Ayton, who is said to be a top 10 pick this year. Arizona, obviously, still number one in the Pac-12. They lost the last two games. So it's only like a one-game difference between them. USC also lost to Arizona State at the last minute. So some interesting games last night. This was a huge upset. I did not see UCLA winning this game. I thought Arizona was going to take it, but UCLA has shown they are capable. They beat Kentucky earlier in the year, and Kentucky obviously they're having a bit of a down year than they usually are. But UCLA, you got to give them credit. Aaron Holiday's playing really well. He took a backseat to Lonzo Ball last year. And, UCLA needed this win for resume building, and they got it. They got a huge win. They went to Arizona, and they won. It's always a bigger win when you go on a neutral court and win, especially when it's a ranked team. But that is crazy, man. Steve Alford is doing a good job with UCLA. Lonzo Ball left, but they still, they still got the same sort of discrepancy going on. Like, there's no discrepancy. Like, they're still playing at a high level. UCLA is still a tough team to beat, and I think UCLA will make the tournament. But I don't think that, Arizona is at that level right now. I think Arizona needs to pick it up. 2 straight losses in the Pac-12. I think what happened yesterday was just not out competing, but I think UCLA just has better athletes on the team. And I always say this. In some games, you see it's a long season in college basketball. So those teams that barely make in the tournament that you underestimate. UCLA has athletes. Jaylen Hands is pretty good. Aaron Holiday can play. Golomon put in 16. Thomas Welsh has always been solid. Like, both these teams have athletes. So honestly, in college basketball, you never really know who's gonna win. Like I said earlier in the Duke video, you go out and you compete, and then you play for 40 minutes, and then you see who wins. It's always different in college basketball. Even if you're a good team or a bad team, you're always gonna have that one-off game, and that's gonna either screw you or help you. If you're a great team, it helps you. If you're a bad team, it screws you. But it's just crazy because I think the way UCLA has played all year, you lose to bad teams and then you beat the good teams. So I think UCLA, obviously, they need a little bit more work to do. Obviously, they need to get a good rate. They need to end off the season well. A lot of these teams end off the season well. They're already at 7 losses. And I think Arizona's always chumming as usual. I just don't see Arizona as a big threat. I think their guards are really good. But I just don't, I always saw Arizona as a threat the year they had Aaron Gordon. But this year, I just don't see him trusting them. I know Rustich is good, and Ayton is pretty good. But other than that, I don't really see Arizona as a threat. I see UCLA as possibly a threat because I see the athletes on their team. Sometimes it's like a matchup thing. Some teams, they match up better. Like, I think UCLA matches up better with Arizona. They match up better with most of the teams in the Pac-12 than they do to other teams outside of the Pac-12. Yes, they have lost 4 games in the Pac-12, but it's a long season. You lose games. You lose focus. You're college kids. You're young. And I think UCLA is really stressing the fact that they need to finish the season off strong. They're playing well. I think the problem here is that, sometimes when you're a good team, you, underestimate the other team. Like, you saw it in the Super Bowl itself. I felt like the Patriots may have underestimated them a little bit. And I felt like you see, sometimes it's not even the coaching. Sometimes it's the players and the matchups. And I think the matchups just favored UCLA here. UCLA, obviously, great program, has great athletics. They have always in basketball, they're good. Football, they're all right. Recently they've sucked in football with Jim Mora, but usually when it's a school like UCLA, you kind of have to come out with a hunger and a passion. And I felt like they were UCLA's unranked. We'll be fine. We got athletes. We got what, top 10 pick on our team. We'll be fine. And I think UCLA came out with the fire that they wanted to win. And you always see it in certain teams that they want it more, and the UCLA wanted it more, and they went and got the win. It's a huge win for UCLA. Huge win. I can't I don't know, man. Like, this week's upsets have been crazy. This has been a crazy week in college basketball. Obviously, it's going to get a little bit crazier by the end here. Obviously, all these teams going down, all these people happening, all these teams happening, and everyone's sort of starting to, try to find footing and see what they can do before March. And most of the teams, they're really, really good. Most of the teams are really, really good. Most of the teams are, good, but they keep losing close games. So at the end of the year, you see all these things happening. And I really like UCLA as a team, as a unit, because I feel like they're experienced, and I feel like that the experience is always tough to beat in college basketball. You cannot beat experience no matter what you do. You could be that's why that one year, the freshman team of Kentucky, when they all went with Randall and Randall and all those guys, Randall and the two Harrison brothers, that one year they went all the way to the title game, and it caught up to them finally. They lost to Shabazz Napier because Napier had experience and they didn't. So Kentucky, obviously, that year they lost 9 games and they were still able to upset everybody. That's how it is. But sometimes it's matchups. They beat the undefeated Wichita State. Like I said, it's matchups sometimes, and then you play your best players, play matchups, and you see what happens. Good win for UCLA. I think they will be in the tournament. I think they're playing really, really well right now, and they really picking it up. So good job, UCLA.